The next principle of art design that we're going to learn about is called proportion. Proportion refers to the size between two or more things in relation to each other. Usually when an artwork is intended to look realistic, we call this standard proportion. And this helps us realize space and depth in an artwork. You can see the people farther away get smaller and smaller. As we get closer to the viewer in the foreground, the people are much larger. We also have exaggerated proportion, like this artwork on the right. This would be called surrealism. It's the artist intended for it to look somewhat realistic, but the proportion is completely exaggerated, showing the chicken to be about 30 meters tall. This is something that we also called a dreamscape in M1. Something that you could visualize as looking real but could never happen naturally. So, in your artwork, if you want it to look realistic, everything needs to be relative to each other in size, like this person in the foreground compared to the tree, and this person off in the background compared to the tree. The relative size makes sense. If you have somebody off in the distance in the background that's bigger than trees and buildings, that's fine if that's your intention to look surrealist, but if you're going for realism, you need to follow the rule of standard proportion. There's also mathematical proportion if you want to take a deep dive. There's the golden ratio and the rule of thirds, for example. The golden ratio is found by adding the last two digits in Avogadro's sequence. It creates a ratio of 1.1618. You can see this ratio down here at the bottom. There's also the rule of thirds, where we draw this grid over an artwork and put points of interest on the top or bottom third or the left or right third. The golden ratio is often found in nature as well as artworks because it is considered to be aesthetic or pleasing to the eye. You can see the golden ratio happens in your ear, in these snails, sunflowers, seeds, and Da Vinci's Mona Lisa. You can see the golden ratio happening with different points of interest in the way she's sitting. The rule of thirds is a general rule for composition where you put points of interest on the top third or the bottom third. We use the rule of thirds because it helps move the viewer's eye around an artwork as opposed to objects of interest in the center. The horizon line is often on the top or the bottom third, as we see in both of these pictures, and points of interest are often on the left or right third, like the photographer here on the left, the edge of this box, the clock, and Salvador Dali's Persistence of Time. So these are the different ways we'll look at proportion in visual arts class.